Hey guys, it's Hink here, and I have to talk about a topic that is very near and dear to my heart. What we're going to be looking at today is analyzing how basically the salaries that in this video men have is going to correlate with penis size. Meaning, if you make six figures a year, how would that actually proportionally correlate to like the size of your penis? The reason why I'm doing this is I just see so much bullshit on the internet about like these TikTok interviews where these women are talking about how they want 6 feet, six figures, and and a six pack or something like that.
Over 100,000. I mean, he needs to take me to nice restaurants. That's all I care about. So
How tall does it need to be?
6 foot. I can't do anything less.
6 figures plus. I need vacations. A year, duh.
It's so unrealistic on multiple different levels, and I want to actually bring you some facts and some science and correlate the two today. So stick with me. I think this is a pretty good one. We have to establish some basics, okay? I'm going to put up a chart on the screen here, okay? And what you can see is basically the percentile range, meaning what's the bottom 10% and what's the top 10% of approximate yearly income. In this video, guys, I'm looking at the United States in particular. So all my foreign people, my global people, I appreciate you watching. Hopefully you can still learn something from this. So the bottom 10% is less than 15,000, whereas the top 10% is above $135,000 per year. And so all of this shit about girls saying like, oh, my man has to earn at least 100K a year, that's the top 10% of earners. They're instantly shutting out 90% of people. And I'm not sure, this is not meant to be like one of those women bashing videos, but like the modern women that are on the internet that at least I see on these interviews, they make me absolutely sick from some of the takes that they have. You got to stay focused, okay? And you have to understand what's reality and what's not. And so looking at the median income in the United States, so guys, we have to use median because if you look at averages, people like Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg earn so much money that it actually shifts the entire average or mean income of the United States up dramatically. So we want to look at what's the median, meaning like what are the people in the middle making in general, okay? And that's going to be about $59,000 a year. Great money, but a far cry from all those women who like, my man has to make at least 100K. And guys, how we're going to correlate penis size in this is, of course, from like one of the best papers that I've seen on size, which is this Am I Normal? A nomogram looking at over 15,000 men. We're going to be using the standard deviation information that they have in that paper. Now, you guys can argue what you want about basically the sizes incorporated this. Like, yes, this is largely UK data, so this is not technically like Western data. I understand, but we're going to be using this paper for just establishing a baseline, okay? As you can see here, in the bottom 10% of men is a penis size less than 4.33 inches. Whereas in the top 10% of men, guys, it's greater than 6 inches. Bone pressed. I know that is like shocking to so many of you guys who are just so convinced that every dude is walking around with an 8-inch penis. But it's not, guys. Just went over 2 papers where they had over 18,000 participants. But in that paper, we're looking at over 18,000 data points. There was no guys that were even bigger than 7 inches in that paper. I know that's hard to believe. I know it's just blowing your mind. I can see you in the, Hank, what are you talking about? I've been in a lot. Like, I know, guys, I know, but I'm just saying that's what the data shows. So that's what we're going to use for this paper. Just in general, what I'm kind of doing here. So the top 10% earners is about 135K. So basically the chance of you having a penis greater than 6 inches is almost the equivalent of you making more than 135K per year, okay? I don't know. I think it's interesting to correlate. What would my penis size be in dollars? If that makes sense. I know it doesn't. Just bear with me. I'm just having some fun with this one. So guys, if we're looking at in the US, if you're making more than $250,000 a year, that's essentially the same thing as having a penis that is greater than 6.5 inches. If you're greater than 6.5 inches bone press, you could be like, oh man, this is basically the odds of me making 250K a year. Now, if we're looking at $500,000 a year, that is essentially a penis size of about 6.85 inches bone pressed. Larger than 99.5% of men. I know that's so hard to fathom for so many guys, but it's true, guys. It's what the data shows us. Now, let's take a look at these millionaire Ds, okay? Basically, the odds of having a D this size is kind of like the odds of being a millionaire. If you are earning over $1 million per year, that is essentially equivalent of a PP size greater than 6.85 inches. And now, the chance of basically the odds of making over $1.5 million a year is similar to having a penis that is 7.2 inches or bigger. And guys, the same proportion of people that are making over $10 million a year are the same number of people that have a bone-pressed penis size of 7.5 inches or bigger. Now, for shits and giggles, I wanted to see basically, if you have an 8-inch penis, which the odds of having that is about 1 in 136,000, that is essentially equivalent to the same odds of making $85 million a year, okay? If you are that big, you really need to appreciate how big that is, guys. Honestly, what I'm hoping this data shows you is those guys that are feeling bad about having a 6-incher realize that they're in the top 10%. It's similar to being a guy that's making $134,000 a year. So hopefully that feels better about your size. And lastly, I wanted to address this, I hate having these numbers just because I am a religious guy and I don't like seeing the mark of the beast. So what are the odds of being 6 feet tall, having a 6-inch PP, and making 6 figures? Well, guys, based on all of this data, the chance of that happening is about 1 in 442 men, or about 0.226%. So you women out there, if there's even any women watching this, saying that is your criteria, you are literally cutting off 99.8% of the entire men's population, which is just unrealistic. So guys, I am going to put these charts on the screen where you can see the relative likelihood as far as the distribution of penis size compared to the average distribution of U.S. incomes. So basically how this chart works is where you see those peaks in the middle, that's where you're going to have the highest likelihood of those sizes, and then the outliers on either side. It's kind of like standard deviation, okay? But this will give you a general idea of how rare it is to have sizes or make certain amounts of money in the United States. So guys, what are my final thoughts? Well, first of all, honestly, I think you should stop poisoning yourself with social media, because if you're watching TikTok interviews and the girls are like, oh, the minimum for me is 8 inches, that's just not reality. The women don't know what they're talking about. Please watch any of my other interviews where I break down the interviews with different porn stars and what actually is reality and what is not. I'm not gonna lie to you, you're familiar with my channel. I have a pumping playlist, I have an extender playlist. It is possible to medically and scientifically increase the size of your penis. There's plenty of published data. If you would like to do that, you can obviously watch my channel, or of course I have an entire course where I go through this, breaking down the real science in a step-by-step, easy to follow format. In my opinion, it is far easier to increase the size of your bank account. And in my opinion, that matters far more to at least today's modern women than the size of your actual pee-pee. In my particular opinion, I don't think either one of those things should matter, your pee-pee size or your bank account size. But I also think that if you have a very high-paying job that indicates certain things about you, like you're a hard worker, you're diligent, you know how to study, whatever it may be, all those positive attributes that come with having money. And in some cases, you're just born to a rich family and then you're a douchebag. So, I'm just kidding all of my rich guys, all of my trust fund guys that are about to start typing up, actually, I worked hard for my trust fund.
Don't do the voice.
But guys, the bottom line is just be the best version of yourself. Let me know what you think about this data, guys. Do you think it's way off? Do you think it's interesting? Do you think this is a dumbass video that I wasted mine and your time with? Let me know, guys. All the comments help engagement. That's going to do it for this one, guys. Remember, you're so much more than the size of your D, and quite honestly, the size of your bank account as well. Be the best version of yourself, and there's nothing wrong with self-improvement, but you are enough just as you are. All right, guys. Peace and love.
Dr. Hink got the plug on the health, yeah. Got you thinking about your wealth, yeah. In his office, no stealth, yeah. Pinnacle of that below the belt, yeah. Checks and balance, he's managing. Working miracles, no damage. Got you covered, no panicking. Steady calm. In the clinic, no vanishing. Yeah, with Doc Hink, it's the way back.